Well, hello everyone. I hope this day finds you doing well. It is, believe it or not, it is a Monday morning in the capital city of Alabama, which is Montgomery. If you've never been to Montgomery, you at least need to come here at least once. At least once. You need to come down here and say hi to us down here. Now, I'm an honorary Alabamian because I've lived here longer than I've lived in my own home city. But however, I'm kind of like the Michael Jackson thing. Sooner or later, I'm going back to Indiana. Okay, maybe not Indiana because it's just too cold. Maybe back to Tacoma or someplace like that. You know, when I really retire. Because I probably won't have much time left when I really retire, so it won't make no difference where I'm living. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds everybody doing well. Before we get started with any festivities today, let us tell you what the weatherman has in store for us today. It is right now. It is 74 degrees outside. It's kind of cloudy. Excuse me, it's actually 73. It's a little bit cloudy outside this morning. I don't know how long that those clouds are going to be with us, but they look like they're going to be with us for a while. Cloudy skies, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High around 90 degrees today. Winds light and variable. On tonight, 22% chance of, I think that's what the thing says anyway, 22% chance of precipitation, cloudy sky, low 74 degrees. And on tomorrow, a little bit more the same as it is today, maybe a little bit warmer tomorrow, but other than that, about the same. So there's a 15% chance of precipitation today. Other than that, you will be okay. Okay, but just keep the umbrella in the car just in case. Hey, Dr. Joe, guess what's coming up today? I'm already gonna tell you. I think you when you hear it, you'll know exactly what it is. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I hope this day finds all of you doing well. I hope that life treats you well. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Did you go to church yesterday? I missed church yesterday. I didn't go. I didn't go. I was lazy yesterday. Well, the first weekend is always the first weekend. I got to pay bills. I'm not in a good mood. Although I must admit, I ought to be in a very thankful mood that I actually can afford to pay a couple of them. Yeah, there you go, Dr. Joe. There you go. There you go. Anyway, good morning to you. Um, I hope you're all feeling good. Okay. And well, we'll get to. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We have a lot of things to talk about today. I've never seen people so angry at one guy. For bringing up something that's obvious, but that's okay. We'll talk about all that stuff later on. I got a lot of people mad at me in this city. I don't know why. I'm really kind of a nice guy. Anyway, so okay, I'm like everybody else. I can be a butthole sometimes, but not too often. I try to be a pretty decent human being. You know, our goal should be is to be a better guy today than we were, a better person today than we were yesterday, and I do mean that sincerely. Because sometimes I can be kind of, sometimes I can be kind of butthole. I don't really mean to be, but sometimes it just comes. I'm just telling you. Sometimes it just comes. It just comes out of me. I don't know why. But anyway, that music tells me it's time to get busy, start living, because you're still here. So, and if you do miss part of the show, that's okay. I always replay it most days at 3 o'clock. So, you are still here. Time to get busy. Right? Let's get busy. Right? Oh. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy. Now, the first thing we do, because this is your only time listening, we do our daily bread, because we all need a word from on high. Get our mind. You are still here. Time to get busy. We do need it. Okay. So. We'll be back. I'm going to stop. Our daily bread. be right back.
In the quiet of the morning light, hands raised high in pure delight, thankful whispers in a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet ease. Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals and the joy you make in the tapestry of life I see.
We're glad you've joined us for today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading is titled Perspectives from Above, and it was written by Ann Cetus. When Peter Welch was a young boy in the 1970s, using a metal detector was only a hobby. But since 1990, he's been leading people from around the world on metal detecting excursions. They've made thousands of discoveries: swords, ancient jewelry, coins. Using Google Earth, a computer program based on satellite imagery, they look for patterns in the landscape on farmland in the United Kingdom. It shows them where roads, buildings, and other structures may have been centuries ago. Peter says, to have a perspective from above opens a whole new world. God's people in Isaiah's day needed a perspective from above. They prided themselves on being His people, yet were disobedient and refused to give up their idols. God had another perspective. Despite their rebellion, He would rescue them from captivity to Babylon. Why? Isaiah 48:11 says, "For my own sake, I will not yield my glory to another." God's perspective from above is that life is for His glory and purpose, not ours. Our attention is to be given to Him and His plans, and to pointing others to praise Him too. Having God's glory as our own life's perspective opens a whole new world. Only He knows what we will discover about Him and what He has for us. God will teach us what is good for us and lead us along the paths we should follow. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Isaiah chapter 48, verses 5 through 11, and verse 17. Therefore I told you these things long ago. Before they happened, I announced them to you, so that you could not say, my images brought them about. My wooden image and metal god ordained them. You have heard these things. Look at them all. Will you not admit them? From now on I will tell you of new things, of hidden things unknown to you. They are created now and not long ago. You have not heard of them before today. So you cannot say, yes, I knew of them. You have neither heard nor understood. From of old your ears have not been open. Well do I know how treacherous you are. You were called a rebel from birth. For my own name's sake I delay my wrath. For the sake of my praise I hold it back from you, so as not to destroy you completely. See, I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake I do this. How can I let myself be defamed? I will not yield my glory to another. This is what the Lord says, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for the examples that you give us in scriptures to help us in our relationship with you. Help us not to be distracted by worldly things, but to keep our focus only on you, because you alone, God, are deserving of all our praise. So let our lives be about you and not about us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
take this time out to salute our armed forces and our armed services. Songs will be sung this morning by the Macmillan. That's right, Macmillan School up there on Macmillan Place up there. My granddaughter, if you look real close, my granddaughter's in there singing. I think that's her singing right now. Wake up in the morning and you hear that song, you're still a country. Hanging on by thread some days, That's right. These are our kids right here in Montgomery, Alabama. Good morning, Jarhead. It's time to rise and snack. Good morning. Don't let me get up from the airport. Don't get this real quick. It's military. Don't want to make too much noise. We want to make sure the macro don't wake up yet. Alrighty then. Is Maxwell Air Force Base up yet? I mean, I don't want to make too much noise because Air Force people, they sleep late. You know what I'm saying? They don't, even in the field, they sleep late. I'm just saying. So if they're not up yet, please let's not do anything to wake them up. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. Good morning to you again. It is the 8th day of June, and on Mondays we normally have a message for you, and today is no different. We do have a message for you today, and it's about. Good morning, Marion. It's about every child needs a champion, and especially in public school, they need a champion. But this young lady here, she passed on. Her name is Rita Pearson. She is a fantastic teacher back in the day, and I think her message is relevant today as it was the day she said it, the first time anybody ever heard it. But it's good stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the profundities of today in Montgomery. This is going to be an interesting week in Montgomery, Alabama. I think I'm not sure, but I think we are on the precipice of some change in Montgomery. But that's okay. So we'll get Dr. Joe. This is for you. This is for you. And don't forget. I always forget this. Don't forget that our show is being brought to you by whom? Who? Who's our sponsor? One Stop Wireless and Bill Pay and more, which is located on 3445 Atlanta Highway, Montgomery, the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard, right there next to the gas station. So if you need a cell phone, your cell phone is wore out, don't work very much anymore, this is a place to go get it. This is where I get all my phones. Okay. Once I found out about them, I had been with AT&T, I had been Verizon, I had been with T-Mobile, I'd been with all of them. None of them gave me the personal service like they do at this place right here. It's right next to the gas station. And here's another thing. Let's say you need a phone. You need a car. You need a cell phone. They'll give you a cell phone. If they got any in stock, they got some free ones to give away to people who can't, who lacking on money. But having a cell phone is not a luxury anymore. It has become a necessity. Does anybody besides businesses have regular phones? Everybody's got their own cell phone. And then once you get that number, I mean, it's going to be all. You got to keep it, or else nobody's going to be able to find you anymore. So go down there and talk to them, okay, about your phone. Okay, they got the big phones. They got iPhone 17. They got Samsung. They got any kind of phone. Motorola. They got all kind of phones. The Google phone. They got all kind of phones down there. Please go see them and tell them you heard about them here. So I make sure that I want them to make sure that they're getting their money's worth out of our little advertisement here. But it's a great place to do business. I took that phone from here to Indiana years ago, about 6 years ago, and it worked fine on every highway that I crossed. I mean, I went from it. That's 700 something miles from here to South Bend, which is where I went and had to bury my dear sister. But I took One Stop Wireless with me, and we worked up there. We work all around the place. Matter of fact, their systems work better than some of them other systems work. I don't know. But anyway, give them a call. 320-2988. I'll come back, replay the show later on the day, and you'll have it. Okay, 320-2988. It's called One Stop Wireless. They also have a web page, a Facebook page, so you can go check with them and give them a question. They got FAQs, frequently asked questions, and all that kind of thing. So please support the people that support you. Okay, because I know for a fact that they've given money. They've given when we do our home. Not a home thing. On the winter time, we do our helping hand. Always go to her. She always helps me out. So I don't know who need to hear this, but they have helped people in this city, unbeknownst to the people who gave the money. Okay, I'm just saying, so help them out. We got to help local people, especially small businesses. The big businesses are doing all right on their own. Okay, they're doing all right on their own. Small businesses, though, the one that really matter, the one if your house burns down, they can write you a check right then and there. They don't have to go all the way up to Walmart to Arkansas and ask somebody up there who don't know you. No, right here in town. So let's support our local small businesses. Okay, let's please do that. And this is one that does business with me, and so I try to do business with them also. Okay, Montgomery. One Stop Wireless right here in Montgomery, Alabama, right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Okay, you can't beat them. Okay, good folks, good people. Okay, good people. Anyway, all you have to do is turn off the towers. You don't have to have a satellite or phone. Well, I don't know anything about that. There you go, trying to hurt small businesses. Okay, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Seriously, what's wrong with us? We're just trying. Everybody does business in town. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants business to help them when they're in a rut. I'm telling us, unless we help our small businesses, everything in this town is going to be rented from somebody else who lives someplace else. It's almost there right now. People who own, did you guys know that black folks only own, and I'm 5%? 5% of all the businesses in Montgomery, and you trying to push another business, somebody someplace else. Boy, I tell you what, y'all crazy sometimes. But anyway, that's okay. I try to do business with local businesses in town because we need them. Because when it's all said and done, when electricity goes off and we can't get nobody, the only people that we are going to know are the ones who live in the same cities and towns we do. So let's not come back to our local folks. Let's stick with our local folks and go to the other guy only when we have to. Only when we have to. But anyway, Rita Pearson, every child needs a champion, and then we'll be back to talk about the things that you guys want to talk about, or at least we can talk about the things that I want to talk about. Or maybe we can have a combination of both. Some me, some you, whatever the case may be. All right. So hang loose. We shall return. Uno momento. Uno momento. Yeah. It's probably unknown moment. Anyway, my Spanish is not that good. Anyway, Rita Pearson, every child He's a champion.
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good. Some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class. Because I am the best teacher and you are the best students, they put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right. You didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, minus 18 sucks all the life out of you. Plus 2 said, I ain't all bad. For years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection. It's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
Educators, born to make a difference. Amen to that. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope today finds you well. Again, it's time to get up and, get busy living. You know why? Because it's still alive. All right, then. Let's go to work.
Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up.
I have my little
You are
milk.
still here. Time to get busy living. Get up.
Yep, if I live and doesn't happen, I'm going to have my first beer next year. Yeah. My first beer. I'm going to drink a beer and consume some alcohol for the first time in my life. I'm going to do it. I told myself, if I ever see the 70 mark behind my name, I am going to celebrate all day. Okay? Because I'll officially be the oldest person in my family ever lived to be that old. So I'm going to get me some cognac or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's. Can you believe after all these, I've never had beer or anything? You know, it's like going in the NCO club and don't drink. It's what you doing here. That's it. This is where the brothers is at. That's why I'm here. Nothing else to do. Can't afford to go off post. All right, then. Good morning to you. It is a great day, a fantastic day to be alive. Now, today's lesson of life, then we get on to some. We will get on to some interesting comments. I think that some people have. Somebody said we have approximately 28.5% of the businesses in Montgomery, Alabama are black owned. Well, that's not what the, and again, it's been a while. So maybe since everybody left now, it's all the white people left. I guess that's what we got. We're better off. Again, though, and I don't care who owns the business as long as it's done right. But let's not do business with people because of their skin color or because of they are. But it is nice to have a piece of the ownership. Martin, what's it? Malcolm X said, "You can't claim it if you don't own it." So, okay, I can live with that. Not a problem. What is the what is the lesson of life today? The lesson of life today is this: how far you go in life depends on you being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, like me, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak and the strong. Because someday, any day, you could be either one of these people. So let's not forget where we came from, because you never know who you meet going down. So again, I like the part where it says be tolerant with the weak and strong. If people have lived a life of affluence, they lived a life where they didn't really have to worry about anything, well, that's all they know. They don't know what you and I know, that on any given day, your life could be turned upside down. One car accident, one illness, wrong turn, wrong street. Yeah. So again, be tolerant with the weak and the strong. Okay, because one of these days in our lives, we're going to be all of the things that I just told you about. Okay, so now let me see if I can get my and this is one of those shows where you can actually call in and express your view, even though your view may be weird, but that's okay. We can live with weird with you know we can live with weird views. Okay, no big deal. And that's the number that's on the screen right there. And so let me hold on. I have to share that. I have to bring my audio system up here now. So those people who think they want to talk, they can do that. But anyway, so what we going to talk about today? Well, first of all, yeah, I didn't know something till yesterday. Did you know during the 2020 election in Atlanta, they had mobile, not just not now. You don't come down here. We come to you and let you vote. They had mobile voting apparatuses. So you don't have to come to us to vote. We'll come to you. Does that not lend itself to corruption out the wazoo? Out the wazoo? I mean, come on, man. I had never heard of that until the other day. Okay, never heard of that. Now I do plan to have Arande Mitchell if he hadn't forgotten. But I'll let if he calls in, he's welcome to join us. Also, this weekend, of course, we had to remember the D-Day, the D-Day commemoration, not celebration, because it was a shame that our people had to that many people had to die, which brought me to another question yesterday. Before I get to any local business, does it seems to me, and I'm only saying to me, I don't know about it. It seems to me that the generation of people from that generation, World War II, were a special group of individuals. They were a special group of people, and if you take away and we can't get away from it because it was what it was. But if we take away the raunchiness and the stupidity of racism, there's no doubt in my mind that we are the best country ever been on God's green earth. The best. But we're not perfect. We're not perfect. But there was something different about the World War II generation. They did exactly what they had to do. Exactly what they had to do, when they had to do it, when they had to get it done, they did it. They sacrificed. Women went to the factories and built our tanks, built our our ammunition factories. Well, we did lots of things. Were they a better generation? And the question is why? Yeah, they had the racism. Let's just say yeah, the whole racism thing was stupid. And but then again, great don't mean perfect. So and that is America's stain. That is a stain on this country that will as long as the country is here, it will always be something that asterisk in the paragraph. It'll always be the italic writing underneath anything that is said about America. Yeah, it was crappy. Okay. It was crappy that my mother, your mother, probably, well, if you're old as I am, your mother, your dad, your grandpa, it's crappy they had to go through what they had to go through. It was crappy. Okay. But again, even after doing all of that, even after going through all that, George Washington Carver didn't invent the peanut. Okay. I mean, I don't know why people say that. George Washington Carver did not invent the peanut. God invented the peanut. George Washington Carver just figured out what to do with it. Okay, we couldn't figure out what. Okay, so if it wasn't for George, Jiffy be out of business. Okay, and a whole lot of people are on peanut butter and crackers and stuff. Now I'm not a great fan of peanut butter, but I will tell you one thing: if you're hungry, it's truly good. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But anyway, move right along to other things. Were they the best generation? Were they the best? Were they? I just think they were different people. You know, they were different people than we are. They had a different moral, except for the color thing. I'm with you. Let me see if I can get my my thing here. Let me see. Simply Days.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Well, the greatest generation.
Hmm.
There'll never be another one like them.
I don't think so.
Because as we know, we're definitely dumbing down on all the information. We're definitely dumbing down the folks that are coming along now. But that generation was born out of the Great Depression.
Mm.
They had already been through tough times through the Great Depression, being born out of it, and they were able to fight two wars simultaneously and win both of them. Not conflicts. Not
wars. Yeah.
But the other side said, "You done beat the crap out of us. You done broke everything we got, and you getting ready to kill more people than we can ever produce again. So we give up."
Mm-hmm. And of course, now we did have a little help along the way. You know, a lot of people in America don't. Russia helped us in World War II. We were allies. In other words, the theory: the friend of my enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Even though,
all those people, but all those people in Europe, except for the Russians,
mm-hmm.
they would have all been speaking German and in the Asian theater, that everybody would have been speaking
mm-hmm.
Japanese
mm-hmm.
if it hadn't been for the U.S. and that's when they knew that they could defeat Germany when they were able to pull the U.S. into it.
Yeah, the world would be a better place. The world would be a different place had it not been for the United States. And again, that's why the stain of slavery, racism, and all that stuff is such a bad mark on us. Because outside of that, there's no doubt in my mind the historians at some point when we're all dead and gone would have to say that had it not been for our leadership in this world, the world would look the globe would look a lot different. So that's
every civilization, every great society, they have their stain.
Yeah. But the only thing that makes our stain worse than everybody else's is because we've always called ourselves a Christian nation. and you can't say, I'm a poodle, but I look like a German Shepherd. Okay.
Well, you got preachers today that are false prophets. They got a Bible in one hand and a collection plate in the other.
Mm-hmm. But I let God figure that out. I'll let God, if they're doing wrong, they'll get theirs. But you can't go around the world saying we're a Christian nation. And listen, and what is that preamble to the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence? All men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. A lot of people don't know what that word means. It means rights given by God. And amongst them, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you can't, what a glorious thing to say. But it didn't hold much weight for a certain group of people in America.
No, and the Italians were treated terrible.
But they volunteered to come over.
That's
we they volunteered.
They wanted to come, and they wanted to come here legally.
Yeah.
They wanted to come here legally and experience, and it's difference between what I found out years ago, Mayor, the difference between a hobo and a bum. You know what the difference is?
Well, the hobo kind of smart because he don't stay there long.
Well, they used to have a hobo jungle down there behind the train station in one of Bell Street. And if you wanted somebody to work, if you needed somebody to work for the day or do some yard work or whatever, you go down there and find a hobo. And he'd work for his meal.
Okay.
But a bum,
yeah, well,
he won't work for his meal. He wants a handout. He wants to hold a sign. But that's the difference. But hey, you brought up Atlanta, Mayor. You brought it up earlier. Did you see what happened to the 67-year-old grandmother on the MARTA train in
listen, I saw
in Atlanta?
I saw that. And then what happened in New York? This country, the culture, the deculturalization of America is in its own. Its own. I don't know how long we can survive with the culture that we have. And I'm going to say this culture comes from liberals. I don't care what anybody says, it does. It comes from people. You can do what you want to do, why you want to do it. There's no difference between a man and a girl and a boy. There's none of that. Everybody's owed somebody. It ain't your fault because you did it. Because your daddy wasn't there. That's the reason to go out and rob and shoot people. I just, it's their culture.
Amen, brother. Amen. And the thing about the one in Atlanta, and they've had two now, a gun wasn't involved. He stabbed that woman to death. And
in New York, they had one guy, I think they stabbed 10 people. And
but where are all the race baiters? Where are all the people laying down in the floor at the State House in Atlanta demanding, because you know why, Mayor? Because she doesn't matter. The Attorney General now for the state and the governor are all upset about this poor woman because they're having the World Games there. They're having these soccer matches, and millions of people are coming from all over the world to Atlanta and feeding the coffers, buying meals, staying in hotels, feeding the coffers of Atlanta. And now they're upset and says something must be done.
So somebody got to die in order, and it's got to be it has to be a political motivation to it in order for somebody to take notice of just regular people minding their own business dying. And like that's
but nobody. Nobody would have cared about her. You wouldn't have had a single protest. You wouldn't have had a single, attorney lining up. You wouldn't. But if an individual tried to intervene and help her, all hell would have broken loose. That's just where we are in society today.
And how do we get here? How do we get here? How do we take the basic values of human beings and turn them upside down?
Well, it's a slow drip, and you're talking about the greatest generation. You're talking about going back. Used to, every city had vagrant laws. And if you didn't have a job, if you wandered the streets aimlessly, just like the one that stabbed that woman in Atlanta,
Yeah.
you couldn't do that. They wouldn't allow that. But now we've turned our streets into just anything goes, allow people to do whatever they want to do. And when one of them becomes political interest, when one of them can fuel the race fire, then they become now, we need to do something about it. But she is a perfect example of collateral damage.
Yeah. And the poor young lady who got killed in Charlotte, North Carolina, just riding the bus home, came from her country over here to be safe. I think she came from Ukraine, and she ends up dying riding the bus by a crazy ass son of a gun. And what irked me with that one really bad, we had men on that bus who didn't do anything.
Well,
how can you be a man? How can you be a man and not do something when somebody trying to kill a woman like that?
But what happened? I mean, what happens when you get one of these juries and they say, "Oh, you were overstepping your bounds. You should have called 911. You should have let the police handle it." And that's why people are fearful of getting involved, because what they did to the man in New York on the bus, on the train up there. I mean, we have gotten so off kilter from where we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just the simple concept of trying to help someone that's in need, that you got a bunch of people on a jury that say, "Oh, that person's rights more important. You should have done this. You should have done that. You should have done this before you took action." And that's why men don't get involved.
Well, let me ask you a question. Restore my faith in humanity. If you saw it, would you do anything?
Yeah.
Kind of slow there, simply.
Yeah. I've got to. I was younger.
Yeah.
But now I only got a few days left on the planet.
I understand. Me too.
And I want to spend those days with my grandkids and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be stuck. Now, let's rephrase that question. I might do that in another city, but I sure as hell wouldn't do it in Montgomery.
But why wouldn't you? If somebody was being attacked?
Because you got a judge down there right now, a female judge that looks for every reason to let somebody go. And then you got a jury pool of people that don't like authority.
And who's the judge?
Well,
would you send me a
she's
check?
She's a district court female judge.
Okay.
Have a good day, Mayor.
Hey, I got to look it up. But recently, though, in the state legislature, they actually enacted a law. I mean, there's certain things now that you can give people up to $1.5 million bond before they get out of jail. Okay. I think anyway. Yes.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I'm sitting here listening to oh boy, they're just talking there. Y'all reminiscing about how good things used to be, and
no.
How?
We ain't never been perfect.
I know that, but y'all making it sound like
it was a different place, brother. It was. I'm born 1957. It was a different place.
But y'all just mentioned about somebody got it. Something happened to some lady in Atlanta somewhere?
Yeah, somebody just cut her up and murdered her with a knife. I mean, and listen, it ain't just that one. There are a bunch of them have. We are in New York, 10, 20 people stabbed by somebody with a knife. I mean, our country is going to crap in a handbasket.
But Kevin, though, 2 people got killed in, where is that place? Minnesota, by the ICE
Well, they get killed
agency
all the time.
people.
But the whole ICE thing, brother, is
But
is, is
hold
something.
a minute. We both saw that with our 2 eyes,
If you
right?
do
Or 1
not,
eye, however many
if
eyes you got.
if you do not interfere
What,
with them, you didn't have anything to worry about.
Kevin? This lady was driving off.
She
We'd have
wasn't
been down
driving
that
off
road about
nowhere.
that one.
She wasn't driving
She
off
wasn't trying to
nowhere.
hit that
Yeah,
man. That man could have
she
stepped his
followed the
ass out of the
police.
way.
She followed the
He
police
he
all day long.
he shot when when the car was pulling off and the police standing right there by the window. He shot through the window
She
as she was
followed the
pulling off and called her
police.
a bitch.
She
But
followed
anyway,
all day long.
but
She followed the police.
anyhow, that ain't why I called today. I called
Then leave
today
it alone.
because
Then you can't change it. I
I
can't.
had to touch on. I had to remind you guys that y'all got selective memory or selective views on what damn crime y'all want to call a crime. Uh, over the weekend, was the weekend Friday? Trump finally told us what a black job is. You know what a black job is, not Kevin?
Not that I even care to hear it, but what?
He mentioned it. He mentioned it on. Why you don't care to hear it? You like to get you one of these black jobs, wouldn't you?
I don't. Jobs don't have color except one color, green.
He went somewhere, talked to the farmers, and somebody asked him about the jobs, and he mentioned about the black jobs are up and everything. That he said the black jobs are. He said these factories coming back, all these factories coming back, and all the black, the factory job or black jobs. What he's saying, you can get you a good job in the factory, Kevin. When they all come on back, the black jobs will be available. Okay. But another thing, Kevin. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Another thing, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was in an interview and walked off the stand.
Okay,
ain't
the first time that ever happened. I mean, he's not the only person.
Oh girl, hey. He couldn't have gaslight this girl with those lies about, he's speaking stuff on the stage, okay, about this and that happened, but he didn't have any proof. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence, Mr. President? Mr. President got mad and snatched his damn thing. I'd have had enough of this damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you?
Did you know that? Did you know in Atlanta they had a mobile voting booth where they took around the people, let them vote?
Kevin, I don't know. Let's talk about this right here. Your president, what you think of how you feel about it? Well, that's maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. But let's talk.
They cheated.
Let's stick with the subject matter at hand right here.
Yeah.
Why would your president get on there and spew all this stuff about how bad these people were treated at the Capitol? Stevenson and about that those people beat the hell out of police up there at the Capitol.
They did not stop telling that lie. They did not.
What Trump tried to tell her. Trump sat there and he didn't disown that when that girl.
Let me hold for 1 second. Police were not beat up by the rioter. The police shot a woman with nothing in her hand but air. Okay, so let's not act like that actually happened.
What now? Did you see Trump interview?
I don't care about Trump's interview. I mean, I saw.
I'm going about what come out of his mouth now. I'm going about what coming out of his mouth. The lady sit there interviewing him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On Meet the Press.
Mm-hmm.
She was interviewing him, okay, asking him questions. I'm sitting there listening to his answers, okay? That's where I got this from. Yeah. So, but you gonna sit there here and say what didn't happen or what did or did not happen? She said you ain't got no evidence of all this stuff happening.
And most of the thing they blame him for, they don't have evidence.
Huh? He wants to pay all these people.
Okay, so what? I mean, there are bigger things going on in the world besides.
Well, hell, some of the people that ICE arrested need to get a damn paycheck too, don't they? They need to get a couple $1 million. They just passing out money for people who got their feelings hurt or mistreated, Kevin.
And again, I'm not in agreement with the way we are trying to deport people. I don't like that. But you don't have to deal with it if you don't come over here illegally. You don't have to deal with it. Okay. So what do you want me to do?
Well, there's many angles on this thing too now, Kevin. There's many angles of it now where you got these companies bringing half of these damn people here to do work.
And I agree with you, but
all of a sudden, these factory jobs are the black jobs now. So I wonder how in the hell the factory jobs available so much now, because they send all the Mexicans out of here or something like that. Got these jobs available in the factory now for the so-called black jobs.
Okay.
What you talking about?
I don't know.
What are you talking about, Kevin? I see you ain't ready for me this morning, are you? You sitting there reaching and going on. You're reaching, aren't you? You're reaching.
You give me the same story.
I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about the past. No, this is just recently happened. I'm talking about the fresh, brand new news that just came up. And ain't no old stuff. You know, old boy went back talking about the damn old stuff about the G generation, the X generation, and all that stuff.
Well, you know, I was born in that generation.
I know that you guys went back to the past. Well, I'm talking about present stuff that just happened within the last few days. I
can only affect the things that are within my circumference.
But why would your president walk off the stage, Kevin?
Why would he? But I don't care if he walked off the stage. Who cares?
Oh, why? Why would he do that? Why would he do that when I'm talking about, I'm asking you, why would he do something like that? I'm asking you. He's supposed to be a strong man and everything, and tough guy. And then old Benjamin Mahu over there, I'm gonna call him Mahu now.
Yeah. You want the number to the White House so you can have
Mr. Benjamin over there still fighting, Kevin. I thought the ceasefire was in Trump control.
And again, I really don't talk much about.
I thought the war was in Trump control. Trump said he was running things, but old Benjamin Yahoo.
Let me let the brother say, I don't get too much into the Mideast conversation. I know nothing about the culture. Don't understand it. Won't ever understand it. And they
were bombing. They were striking each other yesterday, Kevin, over the weekend.
And I'll never understand that part of the world. And that's the only part of the world I've never been in. And so I don't understand it.
But we supposed to have beat these people down and destroyed all this stuff. But Benjamin Netanyahu said he's not giving up yet.
Okay.
So that's his war. He's the one got us involved to start with. We went following them up. Now he said he ain't gonna stop yet.
But you don't know about that part of the world either. You only going by what you see on TV. You don't know. I don't know either.
That's the reason I pay attention to what they're saying, is so I can educate myself a little bit and get my professional opinion about it, sir. Right. That's the reason I was able to speak on Trump. I listened to what Trump said instead of you coming on here talking about.
Let me ask you a question, young man. Let me ask you a question. If you got a society where it's okay to lie to the infidel, you don't have to tell them the truth.
We knew better before we got involved in this war. This man said he wasn't going to create another war. But he put us in one.
Are you walking or riding right now? Did you got the truck out there with gas in it? Yeah, you do.
What now?
You got a truck out there with gas in it? So
I got it.
So the price of gas and the access to those things, because weirdos didn't want us to drill for our own fuel, so now we had to be
we got it. Now, hold a minute now. Yeah. We got plenty of gas. Now me and Scott Beeson talked about this on his show one day, that if we got gas so plentiful over here, why we're not using it?
We have more gas in most places. But
why we're not using it?
Because because we got a nation of laws. No, tell the truth. We got a nation of laws.
I know, because of the market. Because of the market, the way to do it. Okay, yes, it is because it's about the market.
Okay, well, the Environmental Protection Agency, for some reason, listen to all these weirdos, these warrior rainbows. We're gonna mess with the environment.
It's all about the market, just like the stock market.
No, it's all about the dollar.
Friday evening, it's up and down. It's all about the dollar.
Did you know that 97% of our medicine comes from China?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, so evidently, what Trump could do, I would love it. Tell everybody, if you leave this country and provide jobs to another country, we're going to give you 100% tariff on your stuff coming back over here. I wish he'd do that. We take.
Last I heard, now I don't know if it's true, but most of his family members do work overseas in different countries and stuff like that. And Trump got business overseas.
Guess what though? But guess what? That environment was created before Trump got in office.
I was talking about since he's been back in office, don't he have stuff going on overseas?
Well, he's a businessman. He was a businessman before.
I'm sorry.
Okay. We did. Ronnie Mitchell was supposed to come on with us. I don't know what happened to him because I think they're going to have a big vote tomorrow at the city council. Um, did Tuberville vote illegally? Well, I don't know if he voted illegally, but I do know one thing. According to Florida, he voted in 2018, and if he voted there in 2018, well, that's 7 years ago. And the law says you have to be in Alabama for at least 7 years before you can run for office. I guess he. Don't look like to me they're finna put him off. So we'll see. Good morning, Don.
Well, please limit Duke. I can't take that ignorance for that long. I mean, Benjamin Yahoo, what an ignorant. Talk about his professional opinion. Yahoo. It's Netanyahu, Dookie boy. But anyway, when a black is killed or died in Montgomery, why does it take a week to bury a black?
Well, I know I haven't been.
Because they got away from the relatives to get back from Detroit, where they went up there to make money and work in the factories, the Fords, the Chevrolets. What ignorance! It's just an ignorant person. It's just hard to take. Kevin, I came back on Saturday, and I parked my RV over across the toll bridge there going into Millbrook. You know what that one is?
Mm-hmm.
There's two young black males sitting on the things there. They would drive about 100 miles an hour and ran up on top of the toll booth and wreck the toll booth. You know how you go in there straight? They were sideways up in it. You know, they're off the chain, but no one seems to care about them. But, you know, the lovely Camilla was talking about, why don't we care about the human race? I would love to hear any of these blacks comment on the Camilla Anthony trial in Texas. I bet you one of them will call in and say the kid was guilty of murder. You think you can find one of them that would call in?
Well, he got found guilty.
Camilla, call in.
Yeah, he got found guilty of murder. So, yeah, he got found guilty of murder. So,
no, he ain't. Trial's still ongoing.
What do you mean? I thought. Wait a minute. I read that the other day.
Oh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about again.
Okay.
The trial's still ongoing.
I thought he got convicted.
No.
You sure about that?
The trial is still ongoing.
Okay.
I'm talking about where the black kid came up in a tent and stabbed the kid in the heart. So please comment, Camilla. You're such a Christian person. I want to hear your opinion of that. And Camilla, cram that racist shit up your ass. I'm so tired of it. It means nothing.
Well, I will think. I do think we. I do think we use it way too often, but I guess sometimes it's relevant. I guess to me, it's not that relevant, but it's not relevant all the time as much as we do. As much as we use it, it's just not. The whole Carmelo Anthony thing, and I thought the trial. Okay, and this is where the case he evidently they played on the same football team, and this is the son, I believe, of the famous Carmelo Anthony, whatever it is, and he evidently pulled out a knife. They got in a fight. They got into a tussle. He pulls a knife out and kills the other player. First of all, what are you doing with a knife in school? Okay, what is he doing? I mean, what was he? You know, he killed a guy. What did he kill a guy named what's his name? I believe Austin Metcalf, and he's accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old student athlete, during a Frisco Independent School District track meet on April 2nd, 2025. Investigators say that the two teens who attended different schools did not know each other, got into an altercation at the stadium before Anthony allegedly stabbed Metcalf. Metcalf died in the hospital, and Anthony was arrested and charged with murder. The case has since drawn national attention amid controversy with racial tensions. I mean, I don't quite understand the intention. The guy didn't have a weapon. Anthony had the weapon. Pull out the weapon and and this is from some of the kids who on the same team he's on. Said that pretty much he started it. I mean, listen. I know, but the race card is always in your back pocket if you got to pull it. Yeah, it's always there if you need it. It's there. Okay. I thought they did vote in the war. I thought they did. First of all, they never. It's not a war. But then again, the Iranian, not the Afghanian war, the Afghanistan, that was not a war either. We lost a lot of people. That wasn't a war either. So nobody has the balls. How can you stop something that you didn't start? Okay, it is a police action. Okay, it is a definitive action because our Congress don't have the balls to tell people either Mr. President, call it a war. Let's get in there, get it done, or bring the boys home. I don't know where they got no balls left. Especially Republicans. Democrats are going to be worse, going to wuss out, but the Republicans, I just okay, because the War Powers Act gives you 2 months, 60 days, and I don't know how we keep going. The whole Vietnam thing, the whole Grenada thing was done quickly. But I'd imagine we could probably still be over there too. Afghanistan, everybody understood what happened during Afghanistan. I mean, doing 9/11. Everybody understood. You come over here and World War II. Everybody understood when you hit Pearl Harbor and you kill 3,000 of our citizens. You hit New York and you kill 3,000 of our citizens. Of course, that's a war. But nobody ever calls it war. And I'm trying to figure out why we don't call it war. Why don't we call it what it is? And go in there and kick somebody's butt and bring our kids home. I don't understand why we can't do that. And the Republicans and Democrats, they're both weak. Either call the president on the carpet, okay, bring him in front of Congress and say, explain to me why we still over there. Because the law said, the War Powers Act said you got 60 days. And in that 60 days, now, unless he's made some deals with Congress, because Congress is the one who appropriates the money for these things. So all they got to do is cut off the pipeline, bam, and our kids are home. I mean, but I'm not there. Well, if they voted to end the war, then why don't they hold the president's feet to the fire and make him bring those kids home? I mean, I don't understand. So it's good to have a gavel and say I vote, I push the button. Then where's your balls to make it happen? Where you got make it happen? I mean, I'm not all. I mean, because it doesn't seem like to me that there's a strategy at all on this thing. We going, and again, Trump is not. And here's what Trump is not. Trump is not a leader. He understands being a boss, threatening people with their livelihood, with their check to make them do what he wants them to do. Whereas if it's a leader can come in and convince you that the cause is just, and he'll be the first to go, okay, when the wheels are up. Okay? The war in America is why it ends. You may not be lying about that either. But again, I don't know why we're still there. We got to ask our what time is it in Washington D.C. We call Britt's office. Somebody send me a number. I'll call her and ask her why we're still there. If they voted to end it, then why is it still going on? Yeah, that's a great question. So, I mean, is the president going off the rails? Do we need to impose the 25th Amendment? I don't know. I'm thinking that people in Washington, D.C., where's Tuberville and all these folks at? I mean, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just old Sarge here. I don't, never had much authority and certainly don't have much up there. Never had much up there. Don't have anything. And I got a child that's prepared to go to someplace like that. And I don't mind him going if the cause is just. I don't know what the cause is anymore. Yeah, I just don't know what it is. But I do know one thing. Those people over there will follow you home. either with a missile or with terrorists or whatever it is that they find suitable for their task. They will follow you home. So I don't really know what's going on. Okay. I just don't. I mean, we got so many people getting shot in America, and in Montgomery over the weekend, we got another woman killed. Okay. But I did come up with this over the weekend. Now listen to this. We need, we need to amend the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. We do. We need to amend it. And I'm going to tell you what that amendment looks like. Okay. Because obviously, obviously, we got too many people with guns, walking around with guns. State of Alabama, I mean, we got too many people walking around this nation with a gun, killing innocent people. Too many people. Okay. So here is my solution to the gun problem. Now I know some of you are not going to like this, but that's okay. I can live with that. But it is time to amend the Constitution of the United States. Why? Too much gun violence in this country. So here is what I suggest. Now y'all listen to this. Number one, having a weapon at home should be law. At home for self-defense, not walking the street one for self-defense. Okay, well, we'll deal with the knives sooner or later, which will satisfy the right to bear arms. You see, the Constitution didn't say where you could bear them. It just said you have a right to bear arms. Okay, and mainly it was talking about, because everybody back in those days, 16 and above, were automatically part of the militia. They were part of the militia. So therefore, everybody 16 and above were required, 16 to 60 were required to be part of the militia. We don't live in that thing anymore. We got the National Guard, we got the U.S. Army Reserve, we got policemen, city, state, county. We got all that stuff. Yeah, but there is a gun problem. If you don't make it easy to access these things, then that will at least limit the availability of some of these weapons to be bought off the street, I'm thinking. But there is a gun problem. And the great, y'all can say all you want to, but I realize guns don't kill people. People use guns to kill people. Now, here is number two. So the number one amendment, you have a right to have a gun in your house. License or not, you have a gun, you have a right to self-defense in your home. So we ought to be like Kennesaw, Georgia. It's a law in Kennesaw, Georgia. You must have a gun in your home. Crime went down. Okay, it's going down. Now, no one will be allowed to carry a small arm, pistol, etc., unless you have reached the age of 30 years old or you have military service on your resume. That's right. No one in Kevin's world, no one will be allowed to carry a small arm, a pistol, a rocket launcher, whatever, unless you have reached the age of 30. And the only way to get beyond that is that you've had to have military training in your resume. And number three, you must be able to pass a mental illness test. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know people ain't gonna like this one. 200% tariff on all ammunition, except that ammunition that goes to the military. But here's the one right here that's gonna get people saying, what? You must be able to tell us who your daddy is. you must be able to tell us who your father is. At least if you know who your father is, you know you got one. And I'm thinking maybe you had some influence. He had some influence on you. Okay. Now that one may not pass constitutional muster there, but yeah, you must be able to tell us who your father is. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Okay. Now, so again, the Second Amendment must be amended. No one will be allowed to have a small arms, unless you have received, unless you have been, well, you can't carry in the street anyway, but you will be able to have a weapon in your house because nobody's going to let you come in there and rob them. So you already have, but in anybody caught violating this rule, we just got to put them in jail for 5 years, at a minimum of 5 years, till they get the message, till they or get the hell beat out of them, whichever one they want to take. Okay, it's just too many guns, too many people getting killed in this country every freaking day. In Montgomery, somebody getting shot all over this country. We have taken the Second Amendment, misused it, abused it, turned it all the way around, and we are still don't know where we are. Okay, so it seems that we need to amend the Constitution. Okay, having a weapon at home, it is good for self-defense. And I got no. It ought to be a law that you ought, like in Kennesaw, Georgia, you ought to have a weapon at home. And having a weapon at home is good. Having a weapon at home is good. You have to protect yourself by all means. Sure, I know what it takes to amend the Constitution. It's a Herculean task. I believe 39 of the states got to pass it. It's a Herculean task, and it will never happen. But I'm just saying that's what we need to do. But we in America today, there are a lot of things we need to do that we won't do. But did you find anything wrong with my requirements? Self-defense is a right. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't do that if you're scared. Okay, so you got self-defense. That's a natural thing that people ought to be able to do in America. So I'm saying, okay, let's not take that away. Let's just keep on. But you do not have a right to walk down the streets of America with a gun. I'm sorry. No one will be allowed to carry a small arm weapon, pistol, whatever you want to call it, unless you have reached the age of 30 and you have military service or military service on your resume. And you must. Everybody who carries a gun, right? They ought to get a psychological test. They need to pass a psychological test. In order, and even then doesn't guarantee you're not stupid and crazy as hell. But okay, well, tell me more. Okay, there must be a 200% tariff on all ammunition. Okay, on all of it. Okay, because you can't use a weapon unless you got ammunition to go with it. And again, you must be able to tell us who your father is. Because if you don't have a father, if you don't have a dad, then you don't need a gun. Okay, if you don't know, I mean, you got some women, unless your mama was in the military. Other than that, you don't need a gun. That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay, so I'm gonna run this up to Tuberville's office and see what they say. Listen, we are never change the Second Amendment because people are crazy. So, Dr. Joe, tell me what wrong. Tell me which part of my tell me which part of this is wrong. I say you can have a gun at home. That's why I'm not. Do I got to run for Congress now to try to implement some of these changes? We certainly need to do this. And didn't I just get done talking to you?
Yeah, but I got you. What is a tariff?
I don't care what it is. It's extra money attached to something before you can sell it or buy it.
If the ammunition is made in the United States, what happens on a tariff?
Then we put an extra, we put a tax on it. Well, let's call it a tax. We won't call it a tariff. Why
don't we call it what you want to say instead of a tariff? Because tariff is goods coming from outside the country.
Yeah, I got you. And if it's made,
I guess Camilla ain't gonna answer the question about the murder over there in Texas of the kid that stabbed somebody because she's such a Christian.
Yeah, well.
If she's a Christian, I look forward to going to hell.
Well, don't take me with you. I appreciate it. You need to pass a test to become president. Well, the Constitution doesn't say you need to pass a test. Okay. Yeah, the Constitution. But you know what? There may be something to that. I think for all these high stress jobs, you ought to be able to pass a psychological test to make sure that you're not going to be crazy when you get, or you don't have any tendencies or hidden tendencies to be crazy. Okay, I'm just thinking, And listen, I am beginning to believe that Trump may be having some issues of getting old, and nothing wrong getting old. Getting old is natural, but it also comes with like me. I'm getting old. That's why I said I wouldn't run for office once I hit 70, but I ain't 70 yet. Stay tuned. Um, so yeah, I think we just need to we need to slow our roll here a little bit and stop. And Alabama needs to repeal that stupid you can walk down the street anytime you want to with a gun. We just need to be repealed. Okay. Now I know Tuberville's not going to do it. Not going to try to get it done. But the only way these things can happen is that the people in this state decide to get on the back of their quote unquote representative. Now, they don't really represent us, they represent themselves. And I'm with you on that. Okay. Yeah, but he couldn't have. He couldn't. There's no way in the hell he could have passed a cognitive test. Even in whatever 2020, 2022, whenever, there's no way he could have passed it. He just couldn't have did it. But they didn't care about that. Okay, your everyday comments will land you in hell. Well, I not that I know of, but I hear what you're saying. I think Camilla may be getting a little bit of that cognitive stuff too. She got some issues there. I mean, everything is a conspiracy, and everybody's a racist. I'm just telling you. Hey, listen, you might need to. Matter of fact, are you a veteran? You can go out to the VA with me, and we can talk to the man together and see what's happening with you. I'm just saying, you might want to think about that. Okay. There's my and of course this is not news anymore because it happens so often, but it ought to be news, but it isn't. Okay. Montgomery police are investigating an apparent shooting that left a woman in critical condition on Saturday. It always happens. It's not even news. It is so often that it happens, it's not even news anymore. MPD officers said they responded to the 1800 block of Austin Street around 11:30 p.m. It seemed like to me from 11:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, not much good happens. Not much good happens. You need to be in the house. Okay. When the responders arrived, they found the driver, a woman, was with life-threatening injuries from a gunshot wound. She was later taken to the area hospital for treatment. Don't know what her condition is right now, but police said that they believe the incident happened on Gibson Street, which is over here in my neighborhood. Not quite my neighborhood, but close. That's over off Weir's Ferry Road or Fairground Road. Okay. Now but just show you that the Republicans are just as dumb and dirty as Democrats are. Here's a senator right here. This guy, I'm gonna tell you who it is in a second. This guy got on TV and begged for gas money and was caught spending $48,000 of his donors' money at restaurants and hotels. That's right. The guy's from Alaska. His name is Senator. What's his name? Senator something. I can't think. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is, right. Senator Dan Sullivan. He's a good Republican. Good Republican. Okay. And he rented a hotel room where they filmed. Oh, there's my guest. There he is right there. About time you coming because I'm woe out here. I'm woe out. And on the phone with us, of course, is we have not the phone in our bright studio here. We got Mr. Hold on, let me put you back there, Mr. Aronde Mitchell, which is one of the most hardest working city council people I think I've ever known. So, good morning, Aronde.
Hey, good morning, Kevin.
How you doing?
I'm good, sir.
Yeah. Now, do y'all got a special call city council meeting for tomorrow?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, then. Okay, all right. So what's going on down the city with the city council and this other issue down there that nobody really wants to talk about? But I mean, everybody knows about it, so I don't know why we can't talk about it. But
so first of all, we have to talk about allegations.
Okay.
What we have right now is allegation. Ms. Blaylock has not received anything official. Everything has been either on social media or through the news, but I spoke to Ms. Blaylock on Friday. As of Friday, she has not officially received anything stating the allegations that Councilor Marsha Johnson does not stay in her district or has claimed homestead on another residence that's not in District 3. So what we want people to understand about due process, like I said, everything that we have gathered has been through either social media or been through news. We have not received anything officially through Miss Blaylock, who is the city clerks. Mm-hmm. So we did want to give her an opportunity, because when we first got knowledge of the allegations, it was on Monday, and city council meeting was that Tuesday. Of course, according to Act 618, that seat is vacant if those allegations are true. We don't have to vote on it. We don't have to do a resolution. Only thing we would have to do is a resolution on qualifying dates and a special election. So we are giving her opportunity for due process. She has served on this city council for, I think it may be going on 5 years. Mm-hmm. And that's what the council said, that, you know, she did serve in the capacity. So we do want to give her the respect that is deserved to her by giving her an opportunity to, have her due process, have an opportunity to address those allegations to the city and to the citizens. And the biggest thing is we go on what the constituents say and do. There has not been just a super outcry, she must go immediately. And see, we did want to give her the respect that is due to Councilor Johnson by giving her due process.
If, in fact, I put my address in, if you can go on the city council's website and find a map that shows you all the districts. And if you're not quite sure where you live, all you got to do is put your address in there, and it shows you where you live and which district you are in. So I don't want you guys to insult us by making us think that you don't know that people can't find out in an instant where they live and which city council district they're in, which kind of commission district they're in. I mean, this is not rocket science, Counselor. This is not.
Yeah, and I understand that, but Kevin, everybody is due process. This is what this country was built on. So we want to give her the opportunity, Kevin, because I would want the same grace given to me. We talk about grace, but on certain situations we don't want to give grace. So I don't think the council said that we agreed that 2 weeks would not stop this city from moving forward. And I want everybody to realize now, people was like, how did you guys not know? And some of us outside of city council meeting, we don't communicate, just like with any job. If it's just particular people that you may, fraternize with outside of your job. So I don't know what a lot of the city council members say. I think, of course, I know where Mr. President Calhoun lived, because I cut through his neighborhood and he's outside, and I have been invited to the pro tem Glenn Pruitt house. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you when any of those other council members. So I don't want people to think, well, you guys should know. That's just like working on your job. Do you know where everybody on your job live? And so I don't want anybody to think that the city council know what each other live. I do not know. Do not know where Marsha Councilor Johnson resides. So that's something that we would have to look at. But like I say again, due process. We want to make sure that we are doing everything as we have legal. We want to make sure that we're doing everything legally right, because we do not want to infringe. We always talk about rights. We don't want to infringe on the right and give her the opportunity, because this is the burden of proof is on her. And we will give her that opportunity. So if nothing is said or done before city council, then the city council will move forward at the next city council meeting.
Okay. As far as Ms. Blaylock getting some correspondence, wouldn't that correspondence come from you guys?
No, because I don't have the information. So the correspondence would come from the source of those allegations. So the city council is not making those allegations. I don't have the information. I was never shared that information. Nobody ever emailed me. The first time I was aware of it through a Facebook post. I mean, well, that 1819 news.
1819, they seem to get they seem to have all the information.
Yeah. So
has anybody contacted them?
Not myself. I think one of the counselors has been in contact with the author of that article.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have not personally been in contact with the author of that article.
Was this the first time that you had any knowledge of the alleged situation that she had moved? Is this the first time you heard it in the last week?
I saw somebody sent me a post about 2 weeks prior to the 1819 coming out, and prior to that was the first time that I have known of these allegations that was being brought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, again, if she is found to be outside the parameters of District 3, does that mean that every vote that she had made during this time would be null and void?
And that's what we're checking on with legal. We have to look at it because, like I said, we have to first, and that's why I said it's just not as simple as people think it is. She does not live in. So then you have to get into how long has she actually been living outside her district. If those allegations are true, and I keep on saying a disclaimer, if those allegations are true, then you would have to get into the legal ramifications of any of those votes that she may have casted.
Somebody asked, is the Office of Investigations involved? Do you know they're involved in this investigation?
I am not sure if they're involved. I know that it was asked by somebody on social media that they get the ethics commission involved, but the city council nor myself personally has asked for the AG or a ethics commission to get involved.
Now, I lived in District 2 when Brantley Lyons was in. Now, I've been told since then that Brantley lived out. I didn't know that he lived outside the district for a couple of years. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No, I did not. And I keep on saying once again, outside the city council meeting twice a month, some of those city council individuals I don't speak to on a daily basis. Brandon Lyons, I don't think outside the city council meeting, I don't think I ever had a conversation with him outside of anything dealing with the city council. And the same allegations were said about Tracy Larkins for years. So, until somebody brings evidence that support whatever the allegations are, that's when the city council will move accordingly. And like I said, everything we do is has to be compliance with Act 618. So it's nowhere getting around that we can vote saying that a city council person 618 strictly forbid us, and we are class 3, so we have to go with what 618 has, and that's state law.
Okay. If in fact this does come to fruition, what does it look like, and what length of time is it going to take to set up an election?
45 days. So you saying if this is true, if these allegations, probably August the 19th will be the special election. So 45 days once that seat is vacated.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I actually wish the best for her. I don't know, but since I happen to be a vested interest in District 3, of course, I'm looking at this quite seriously.
Yes, sir.
Because people want to be represented.
Yes.
And that's why we put our boys in green and all over the world, because we want our way of life to continue on, and we live in a representative government. And the thing about the city council is that it is the closest entity to the people, besides the school board, that we have.
Yes, sir.
And that's why it's important to make sure at least we get represented down here. But I wish her the best.
Yeah.
But again, this is not rocket science. You either live with this place or you live this place.
And let me tell the public, and so they can know, we have been through similar situations. You will still have representation. If that seat becomes vacant, the president will step up and take that role on, like we did when Tracy Larkins passed away. Charlie took on that role of making sure that District 3 had representation. Same thing when Richard Bollinger passed away. Charlie did the same thing. He stepped up. So we are making sure that if anything happened, President Calhoun, CC Calhoun, has already said he will do whatever it takes to make sure that District 3 had the representation until all of this stuff is resolved.
But the representation is symbolic. I mean, it's hard enough for y'all to handle one. It's hard enough for y'all to handle one district. So yes, the representation is symbolic. I mean, it's not really. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it looks good on paper, but in reality, you can't. Now you got 44,000 people you got to worry about.
Yeah, but like I said, and that's why we're trying to expedite this as fair and quick as possible. We want to make sure that this don't hinder us from what we need to do, and which is really focus on crime in the city of Montgomery. And so that's what we're really pressing on this summer. We will probably see an uptick, and so that's why we are getting out in front. I have been doing a lot in District 6, getting my constituents involved and reporting everything that they see here. So our numbers are going down because there's a lot of community involvement. And so that's what we are pushing for, not making this a distraction, making sure that the city of Montgomery is focused where the focus needs to be on. And that's the crime here in the city of Montgomery right now.
Right, and you also need to focus on this. And I've been complaining about, listen, the other day when that young man came in about his club, and Grimes, and you guys surrender your vote to the guy who represents a particular district. Grimes had his mind made up before the man even came in front of him. Now, this whole liquor is legal. It is the state sells it. The state can come in here and put a liquor store almost any place they want to put it. Is that not true?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're gonna pick on the little guy because people are crazy. There was somebody killed at the bowling alley here a couple of years ago. We didn't close them down. There have been a number of things that have happened at Walmart, shooting. We didn't close Walmart down. So why are we going to close this guy down when he has the people who work for him doing what they're supposed to do? Why is that?
So, Kevin, if you go back and look, I was real vociferous on Bama Lane for us not closing Bama Lane down. It was a young man that I knew named Jeff that was killed at Bama Lane. So I did not vote to revoke the business license of the young man that was up there last Tuesday. Right. I just didn't think that it warranted, I think that we have to work with these businesses. It's not against them. And I know every neighborhood do not want those type of establishment in their neighborhood. And I tell people, you have to look at what they're zoned for. Mm-hmm. If it's zoned for commercial, that means a commercial business is going to come. And the only reason that they will come in front of the city council if they are asking for alcohol, that's the only time we give permission. Right. I just think that I just feel that we got away from. I know a lot of people didn't like it due to the liability. Actually, having law enforcement working these club and lounges.
Right. Image stop.
Yes, those. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I think we won't see what we're seeing at these establishments now. They're doing all they can, and he made a valid statement. How society is today, and how much do we put on a business to patrol their parking lot. If it's a shared parking lot, do I have responsibility of providing security for the entire parking lot? So we just have to change some things that we're looking at. I'm going back to, we used to have a nightlife committee meeting every month that we met with those nightclubs and night establishment and tried to see some of the things that we can do to help them so they won't be in front of the city council. So they will be able to get an opportunity to talk to law enforcement before issues come up. So I'm going to revisit having those meetings again, because I don't want to see all our establishments closing. That means that you're forcing them to only one side of town. And then when you force them to one side of town, you have different sides that shouldn't be together. And that's where you see a lot of this stuff start to interact with the city of Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. Let me take this call so I can get you right quick. Hello, you on air? Are you on there? Whatever you are.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear her, Aranda?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, I haven't called in on your show for a long time, Kevin. I'm this Rosebud, and I have a lot to say, and I know I don't have long to say it because I know you quickly will hang up on me. But the first thing I want to say is that I think what's his name, Carmelo Anthony, wherever his name is, I think he should go to jail. I really do. Because number one thing, why would you bring a box cutter to a track field where different types of events are happening at? Number two, I played sports. We never sat under the opposite team because they know it's going to be an issue there. Your rivalries. You're not supposed to be there. Why was he late? Why wasn't he on the other side of the field?
Hey, do me a favor. Call me back when I get done with him, because I'll be here a little while longer, and then we can take. I'm talking about the city council thing right now, but I'll be here for a while. So just call me back. We'll talk more. We'll talk.
Yeah, I need to talk because black women, black people, y'all need to be held accountable.
No,
and I'm here to call it out.
I agree. I agree with you. One of the things, Arande, that I also have a hard time with, they always ask them, does 618 say that I must get permission from all the people who live in the community in order for me to put a legal business there?
No, it does not. It does not say.
So why are we holding people accountable to an entity that's not even in the law and has no authority to do anything?
And that's going to be the issue. And we can suggest that they go and speak to the neighborhood association, but they do not. We just put in the ordinance for alcohol that they have to notify the city council person that is coming into the area. And we try to make sure that we get the input of the people that put us in those seats. And I try to make sure that I have a group chat with my neighborhood association members. I try to keep them abreast on what's coming, or what's even trying to come in the district, who's asking for the land to be rezoned. So I try to do my best to get their input. But at the end of the day, they did elect me, and they had enough confidence to elect me to make a confident decision. And most time they trust me. Most time they do not have a problem with whatever decision that I make. But I make sure that I include them in whatever decision I'm making.
All right, Don, you got it.
Mr. Mitchell, 2 questions for you.
Yes, sir.
I can't tell if he's hearing or not.
He's hearing you. Can
he hear?
Yeah, he hears.
Yes.
Huh?
He hears you. Go ahead.
Okay. When you decided to run for your office, did you not put where you lived on that when you ran? Did you not list your residence?
When I initially ran, yes, I did list when I initially ran, yes.
I can't hear him. Is he answering?
Yes, he did. Yeah. They all do.
What did he say?
He said, yes, he did.
Well, here's the second question. You're not an investigative body. Why are you dealing with this? I think the law says it's supposed to be turned over to the district attorney. You are not a investigative body.
Yeah. Did you hear him? But he said you're not an investigative body.
And we're not investigating. I didn't say we was investigating. That's why I say everything should go to Ms. Brenda Blaylock, who's the city clerk.
Okay. I think you answered that. For him. That's true. Okay. Well, there's so many things that's around. But my only this liquor thing has been an issue for 35 years since I have been here. It's legal, and guess what? You can't sell alcohol without expecting somebody to be stupid. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, we're still trying to come up with a standard operating procedures, but we try to not come up with those procedures because if we come up with them and then we still don't give you your liquor license, then you have opportunity to go and sue the city. So, like I said, most of it is just by the will of the council. And I make sure that I try to be fair. I give everybody an opportunity to have a business because that's somebody's dream. I never want to take somebody's dream away from them. So I don't mind giving them a personal opportunity.
Mm-hmm. No, you have always been pro business. I like you. You and Samansky has been pro business for the most time. But when you own a business, you kind of change your attitude about things. Okay. Yes. So I appreciate your sentiments the other day too, because I saw that you didn't really vote on it, which is okay. But I'm just why is it that when it comes to liquor or a club, every city councilman, you guys cannot pass an ordinance, cannot close anybody down with your individual thing. You can have input, but one city council person cannot close a business. Doesn't it take the cooperation of everybody on the city council?
Yeah, and you know that, Karen, you've been following the city council. You've been following the city council. Generally, they align with the person that represent that district. And sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Depends on what the information that's being provided to us. Like I said, I think for myself. I want to try to make my own fair decision. I want to be partial. So I listen real close. And then also I always, if you always look at a city council meeting, I'm always looking at our legal advisor. We usually either texting or we're nodding our heads to tell me what we can and cannot do. So I make sure that I look at legal a lot of times for advice when it comes to some of the things that we're doing on the city council. Yeah. Kevin, I do apologize. This is about to be I have to go. Okay. I call you, tell me when I need to call back in, and I'd be glad because I did want to talk to you guys about what's going on with Jackson Hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be here tomorrow. You can call.
Okay, I call you. I call in tomorrow.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, that Jackson Hospital thing, I thought we figured that out already.
No, sir. We almost there. Some things that we're working out that Jackson Hospital need to work out with Blue Cross Blue Shield, per diem. We are almost there, so I'll be able to call you and give you some information on tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, listen, Kevin, and I'm only gonna share it with you. They're here first on your show.
Right on. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway. Wow, this whole, I looked at the city council map. I put my address where I live in there, and it actually tells you where you live, whose district you're in. It shows you on the map. So this ain't rocket science, but they're crossing it. They're crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and I can understand that. And again, I don't have anything against Miss Johnson. As long as if she lives there, then let her continue to do it. If she doesn't, I make no bones about it. I'm only going to join that race when it is official that she either has to step down or whatever. But I'm not trying. It's not about Miss Johnson. It's not about her. It's about whether or not we have representation in District 3. I happen to live in District 3. And so I have a vested interest in whether or not the things that we need to talk about, we're talking about it. Okay? What's going on, Dr. Joe?
So answer me this. I'm confused. Why would the city personnel director have anything to do with where she lives? Finding out where she lives.
Who said the personnel director had something to do with it?
He did. Rondé Mitchell. Isn't that what he said? Linda Blaylock, personnel person?
No. Linda Blaylock, the city clerk.
Well, why would she have anything to do with that?
Well, he said, according to him, and I guess for this thing, there's been no official, okay, charge that this person doesn't live where they say they live.
Well, who has to do the charging? You
Well,
asked that, and he never would say.
Right. Well, I thought it would be the city council, but I know 618.
Well, why don't they do this? And I'll call up tomorrow and ask him. Why don't you just meet the next city council meeting, meet over there at her house, and you can confirm whether she lives there or not.
Well, that's a case, but I don't think we could do that.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. You know,
you could just meet there preliminarily, and then go on down to City Hall or wherever they meet.
Yeah.
But you could figure it out. Like you said, it's not rocket science.
It really isn't. But I guess they want to give her the due process that they keep talking about.
Well, due process is finding out,
right?
And you can find out.
It's easy to find out.
Due process.
Yeah. Does he live?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't live in Montgomery, I don't believe, but that makes him more fair than me and anybody else because you don't live there. So you're strictly going by what the law says, what the book says. If you don't live in the district, the seat is vacated. That's what the law says.
And like you said, the city council has nothing to do with it. They don't even have to vote on it. If they find out she doesn't live there, hey, it's over. She's out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see. Hey, appreciate it.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
They better not dilly-dally around for another month till the next meeting and then say, oh, well, we still hadn't found out anything.
Yeah. Because this has been going on for a couple of years. Except
they need to stop. Yeah. And by the way, you saw my comment. Does this mean that anybody can vote in any district they want to?
Yeah, I don't believe we can.
Why not? Why not? If they can live in any district they want to, and be your representative, why can't you?
Well, we're gonna see. All right,
we'll see. Bye.
Okay. Let me see. Good morning,
Kevin.
Yes.
I missed the interview with Arundel, but who's staying in the other house?
That I don't know, but I think she still owns it,
the house, the homestead house. If she purchased a homestead house, who stay there? I'm just saying, if she purchased,
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
If she purchased a homestead house, who stay there?
Mm-hmm.
Do that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
I'm just saying, go ask the neighbor out in the neighborhood. Well, who stay here? Do two men stay there? Do she rent the house out? Who stay in the house that she purchased? The homestead house. Who stay there?
That's I think
it don't take a rocket science.
It don't take a rocket science
to figure this out. No, it don't take a rocket science to figure it out. I don't know what they're doing, but who stay in the house that she purchased is the question they need to ask. Who did you buy the house for? Because if she bought it from someone else, then she fraudulently purchased a home. She have now she have a crime. She have a felony.
Well, you can
purchase the home.
You can rent your house out, can't you?
Huh?
You can rent your house out.
Who purchased the home that she? Who stayed in the house that she purchased? Yeah. The homestead house. Yeah. Her cousin. Who named the lights in? Who named the water bill at the homestead house?
Well,
have a good one.
All right. Of course, I don't have that information, and that's just too much information for me to have to worry about. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're gonna figure it out. And then, did you hear the other news? That the hospital is thinking about closing now after we went through all of that rigmarole to get money from the city, money from the county. And now, because Blue Cross and Blue Shield, according to them, does not give them the same per diem or the money, the same money back that they give other people, then the hospital evidently is not going to be able to survive, even with the millions of dollars that the city and the county of Alabama, the county of Montgomery, still said, well, we're going to give you. So I'm just trying to figure out what is their biggest cost out there. Millions of dollars we give you, but you still can't stay open, and then they're going to eventually close anyway. So, but there's a bunch of meetings going on right now with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is one of the highest places I know to have insurance with them son of a guns. But I can't afford them, and they only want certain people. I guess they only want certain people. I guess I don't know. Okay, let me go. Yeah, Don.
Hey, Kevin, you're talking about the hospital closing.
Yeah, well, that's
My understanding through the grapevine that Doug Singleton got paid out all this money he's owed by the hospital. Maybe somebody needs to look into that.
okay. Okay. I don't know anything about that, but yes,
How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing fine. How you?
Listen, the news report said Jackson Hospital is in debt or owed, $293 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the money that the mayor and the county and all the other places where Kiara was smart, she held her $40 million that she was going to let them have until after the bankruptcy was over with. So she played it smart.
Well, but she's still obligated the money. And what they're saying is that unless Blue Cross Blue Shield gives them the same amount of recourse that they give everybody else, then they can't afford to stay open.
But then when the criteria was that the city and the county was going to give them the money because that was what needed to keep them open.
Right. That's what I thought.
They owed $293 million. Look, the mayor went wrong, and they was in more debt than everybody thought they were in.
Well, I guess we're going to see. I think that.
Do you think the city and the county got snookered?
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope they can work, because whether the city
county got to keep hers until they come out of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
If they don't never come out of bankruptcy, she ain't gonna have her money thrown in that heat of going down the drain.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to have to see what happens, because I don't know.
Yeah, because I really want to see what happens, especially after everybody dogged Montgomery because they wouldn't give them the money, dogged the county because they wouldn't give them the money. Now they done gave them the money. Now we find out they got $293 million debt. And talking about it, Blue Shield need to give them the same pace as they give back.
But shouldn't it?
They should, but I thought that's what they would do. It's something else. It's something smelling right in that milk. It ain't clean.
Okay.
They better check some people that left there with all them investments.
Yeah.
That ran it in the ground. They better check some of them bank accounts.
Right.
That ain't ain't kosher there.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that the other day.
Yeah.
They sent out an SOS. We about to close. I thought we just gave them money.
It's funny how Yellowhammer can report everything that's happening in Montgomery, but they can't report on nothing about Tuckerville voting in Florida.
Well, I think that's what I did. They did report on him, but it was in 2018. And that's 8 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
I didn't see it in Yellowhammer. I saw it on Facebook.
Oh. Well, I saw the voting. I saw the voting apparatus thing. So, and if that's the case, and he voted in Alabama ever since then that's 7 years. But we'll see. We'll see. And another thing, do we want McFeeters? Do we want him? Because it's going to be a Republican. It ain't going to be a Democrat.
Well, we got Trump. So what difference?
Yeah, I guess it don't make a difference these days. Okay. Appreciate it. Man, my time is up. I went over my thing, and the only reason why I went over because I got a new part of the program that lets me do certain kind of things. So I gotta go, but I appreciate you. And remember this: it is not the fall that gives you the strength. It's getting up each and every time you do. You don't get strong by laying down. You get stronger by getting up every time you fall. So the word of the day is keep getting up. Don't just lay down there. Keep getting up. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll finish our interview with Aronde around 8:30 tomorrow. And we'll maybe we'll bring a friend with him. We'll see. Have a great day.
In a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet